Anaka.
So nice to
My
see you.
God. I know, can't hold the excitement. How are you?
Yes, I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good, good. Very good, ma. Very
So
good.
lovely to see you.
Same here. My God, it's so good to see all of you. I mean, so good to be connected. Just
Yes,
seems like old days.
we see after such a long time. It's almost been 8 years, 9 years.
I know, yeah. It doesn't seem like, but when we speak, isn't it?
Yes. So everyone who's wondering who this is Archana Rajan. She was a teacher by profession, and now she's a writer. She's a singer, dancer, and host of Talk with Archie. I think apart from that, I've missed so many things. You're also a good chef. You're also part of
No.
Caterpillar Book Club.
Yeah.
Tell us more about it.
Well, I don't know. Probably, Anaka, I'm just made like that. Too many things. Lots of things interest me, and I've always been like that. Dance and music always been like that. But then, unfortunate, my dad was in the services, so every 3-4 years we used to get posted, and. So I left my dance in Delhi. Then I couldn't take it up when dad got posted to Jammu Kashmir. Then we moved to Bangalore.
Okay.
By then I was already in my 10th standard, so everybody said, okay, now leave dance and take up music. So then I learned music and I learned Veena with it.
Oh,
So
really?
dance left out over there. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but then dance was always there in me. I always wanted to learn, wanted to perform.
Uh-huh.
I always loved dancing.
Okay.
So it just tagged along, with me. Music and dance happened like that.
So
Then I
you were
came
a
to
teacher by
Kerala.
profession. How did you end up being a teacher, having all these happening?
I always thought I would make a very bad teacher,
No, you
because
were the
every
best teacher for us.
time,
You were the coolest
every
teacher.
every time somebody would say teaching, I said, no, I'm not going to teaching. I'm very impatient. I can't handle kids. I can't do teaching. I used to always say that. But then see, I don't know. It's supposed to be destiny or what? I don't know. I came back. I was here. Then I came back to Kerala. I did my masters. I did my B.Ed. And then just so happened, I went to Kanaki Mata one day and I joined. And I don't know, it just happened, I guess. But then I discovered that I loved it. I loved interacting with kids, and it was fun for me. And I was just reliving my days, I guess. I don't know. It just so happened.
So you did your, where did you do your graduation? In
I
Kerala?
did my graduation in Kerala, in Mercy College. I did my graduation. Those were the best 3 years of my life. Though I got into Mercy College very crying because I came from a co-ed school. I was going into a girls' college. There was not much tragedy than that. So, but then it was a wonderful experience. Second year I was the fine arts secretary. Final year I was the chairperson of the college.
Okay.
So it was fun. It was really fun. And then after my graduation, I got married.
Uh-huh.
So, and then after a long time, a long gap, I came back to Kerala, and then I did my masters. Then I did my B.Ed.
Okay.
So I guess my life is a lesson that you can do anything anytime. There is no time set for things.
That
You
is a
have to do this
much
at this
needed
time.
advice for all of us.
Yeah, don't go by time. Don't go by time that, okay, after graduation I have to do post graduation or I have to take up a job. Just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. Where life leads you, go with that. You will come back to it. If it is meant to be, you will come back to it. Trust me.
Very
Yeah, you will come
I
back.
think you are the best example for us to explore our lives and interest.
Absolutely, Anaka, absolutely. Actually, when learning is very mutual, Anaka. It's not that in a classroom of 50 students, it's just me who's teaching. No, and you who's learning. No, I'm also learning in that process. I learn a lot of things in that process. Yeah. You girls sitting there just nodding your heads probably or going off to sleep or just cheering or talking or whatever. You teach me a lot of things about your age, your passions, how things are, how lightly to take things, not to get too serious about things. So it's always mutual. The learning is always mutual.
Very
You
true.
don't have to read great books to learn anything. You just watch and observe people around you. Everyone teaches you.
Very true.
Everyone.
We have something to
Everyone
learn
teaches.
from everyone we meet.
Absolutely, absolutely. Either to be like that or not to be like that. Anyway, you're taught something.
Yes. True, very true. So, ma'am, one interesting thing that I noticed was during your childhood or during your college days, this digital platforms and this digital era was zero. Was not there at all. So my mom was telling me recently, like, see, if you have some interest, you can go and post on Instagram. People will comment on it. You will get so much appreciation if you're good. But back then, you didn't
Absolutely.
have such a platform. So how do you feel the transition is?
It's great, like now I think if I had the platform of reality shows or showing my talent of singing somewhere, probably I don't know, I would have got somewhere. Like how kids today they can go up to platforms like that and sing, or just put up on Instagram or YouTube and people watch it. Back then we didn't have. Back then, even if I was writing a poem, my first poem came in Women's Era magazine. I remember
Wow.
when when I was studying in college. I don't know. I mustered all the guts, wrote it down, send it to them, by post, and it was such a Herculean task, doing those days. And they gave me a check for I don't know how many rupees, I forget. So Women's Era was my start.
Oh,
That's where I started writing poems or small short stories and things like that. Then all we were left with was college magazine or school magazine. That's the only place we could showcase. No other place, isn't
yes.
it?
And because the audience
Not
were very
really.
limited.
Very limited, audience were very limited, criticism was plenty. We were very naive, and everything was permission for us. Will we be permitted to do this? Will we be permitted to do that? Can I do this? Can I do that? May I do this? May I do that? Today it's not like that. I want to do this. It's just that, isn't it?
Very.
Most of the kids, it's like, Amma, I want to do this, or Pa, I want to do this. For us, it was like, can I do this? Should I do this?
Yes,
So
yes.
many questions. Yeah, so you people are really blessed in that way, So make
Yes,
the
very.
best of it. You have such opportunities. Make the best of it. Don't shy away. Don't shy away.
So that is where I wanted to ask you. Many people of your generation are still not into these platforms. So in such a scenario, how did you come to how did you land up in Instagram, and not just being in Instagram? You post your dance moves, you post your songs, you post your writing. How do you do that?
I actually started with my cooking blog.
Okay.
And all credits for me into Instagram goes for my daughters, okay? They are the first ones who told me, Amma, why don't you start a page? And she's my elder one, she's the one who created the page, who gave it a name. Everything was done by her. And she said, why don't you post something? Why don't you post
Ma'am, we can't hear you.
Okay. Now you can?
No.
No? What happened?
Is it just my problem or?
I don't know if everyone can hear me. Can somebody just say whether... I don't know. You can hear me now?
No.
No? I don't know. I can't hear her. Oh, she also can't hear me. Shabnam is saying. What's the problem? Okay, I'll
Okay.
just take off
It
my
seems
mic.
they can hear you. I'll try connecting my headphones. Just a second.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's how it started. From my cookery page in Instagram. I was not into posting. I'm too lazy to write recipes actually, So I thought, okay, I'll just take pictures. I'm really bad at taking pictures.
Okay.
But still, I managed. I used to take pictures and I used to upload and things like that. And it was fun because that motivated me to cook.
Okay.
Otherwise, with just two of us, there's hardly anything to do, So that motivated me to cook and do things and, put it up on Instagram.
Okay.
Then I thought of, I was thinking, okay, I write these things. Why don't I put up in Instagram? But then this is a cookery page. So what do? I went back to my daughters. So they said, Amma, you start another page. for this.
Okay.
Because this is exclusively cookery. You start another page.
Okay.
And then all my kids, my both my daughters, and then Aishwarya, all three of them, they were like, you do this, do that. They used to tell me, how it is to be done. And so that is how I started the writing page. Now, when I started the writing page, I was singing 2 lines. I posted to someone and they said, why don't you put this up on Instagram? I was like, should I? They said, yeah, do it. I said, okay, fine, do it. What harm it's going to do to anyone? So I posted that on Instagram. Then I posted, it just so happened, I didn't shy away. Probably that's why. I was not bothered about how many likes I'm going to get, or somebody's going to criticize, or somebody's going to say, what the hell are you saying? I wasn't bothered about that. I just thought that it's not all that bad. So let's do it. Why not? That's all. I was entertaining myself, I guess.
You took the first step and it all just fell in place.
I guess so. Even to people from my generation or your generation, I would say don't shy away. Don't shy away. If you think that this really has some matter in it, I'm not saying, see, everybody cannot sing like S. Janaki. Everybody cannot sing like S.P. Balasubramanian. Everybody who posts on Instagram is not a great singer. It's just, what do you say? It gives you peace when you do that. It gives you a nice happiness,
Yeah.
When you look back, you check out all these things. It gives you happiness. And don't do it because you want so many likes, because then that will disturb you.
Yeah, very true.
Because then every minute you will be going back to see how many people liked, how many people didn't like, how many people said something, how many people commented. So if you get into that vicious circle, then it's going to bother you.
Yeah.
So don't get into that. Do it for your own happiness. And when you do it for your own happiness, I guess only that matters. It doesn't matter what someone says. Or you think I don't have criticism? Oh my God, cookery page, ample number of criticism we get. They say how much you eat. Every day you eat non-veg. How much you cook and how much you eat, and people ask like that. So I'm like, it's okay, I'm fine. Don't bother about me.
So you touched actually a very important point, the inhibitions we have, like, whichever generation it be, whether it's our generation, the younger generation, or your generation, it's like we all feel like, what will people think, or what will my friends say about me? What if I do a mistake, like that? So coming out of that inhibition is a bit of a task, I believe.
Yeah. For people in my generation, I would say they are more bothered about what the family would say. Like, my elder daughter is married. So people my age group will be like, what will the son-in-laws people think? What will they think? What will she think? We go into, I don't know what all places and who all will think what all about us. We go into that.
True.
People about your generation, it's like, like you said, what will my friends think? My teachers would say, what will they think?
Yes.
What will my cousins think? Somebody will say, am I so good that I should post it?
Yes.
Then the younger ones, yeah, exactly. And the younger ones, I think they're not bothered. They're just bothered about how many likes they would get.
Yeah, true.
That's it, yeah. So, inhibitions will always be there. Something will always stop you from doing something. When you're going into the kitchen to drink a glass of water, your legs will stop you. Okay, sit down, after 5 minutes, we'll go drink water. Your mind will tell you that. Your legs will tell you that. Your throat is saying, I want water. Come on, give me baby water. Your legs are saying 5 minutes. Yeah, I'll sit for 5 minutes. You go after 5 minutes and drink water. There is always a battle with it, isn't it?
True.
But then you muster the guts and you say, no, my throat is thirsty. Get up, my legs. You tell your legs to get up, go drink water and come.
Yes.
Isn't it? You muster that. You have to do that. You have to win that battle. Don't think about what will people think, because people are going to think bad. Go by it. Nobody, if 100 people are watching, trust me, 90 people are going to come and say something wrong to you. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Oh, this is singing. Come on, this is that. If this is singing, then even I can sing. Then the donkeys are also playing. That is also a song. People will say a lot of things. Ignore all that. If something is giving you happiness, just do it.
Perfect.
I just do it.
Perfect.
If, end of the day, it's about us. It's about my, that's the lesson I learned from my elder daughter. She loves herself more than anything else. And that's how I think everybody should be. You should love yourself first.
Yes.
Very difficult task, because all the time we're thinking about loving someone else and, how people love us and how much people love us. So loving ourselves is very difficult. But I think that is the first thing you should do. Love yourself. Don't bother about what people are going to say. That is for sure. There are people who criticize S.P. Balasubramaniam and KJ Yesudas. It's fine. What are we?
That was really inspiring, ma'am. So many of us wanted to hear this. So how do you manage to stay motivated? This is one of our questions from our friends. How do you manage to stay motivated, first in between these trying times, second in between all these criticism and all that?
I guess criticism, when somebody criticizes, maybe I'm a badass, when somebody criticizes, it's like I should do more to make them more irritated. You like to irritate people who get irritated fast, right? You don't like to irritate people who don't react. Yeah. Motivated. I can just sit like that for hours. I'm a very lazy person. But then if I sit like that, I'll just end up sitting and sulking. So I have to give that push to myself to get up and do something. Yeah. I have to do that. If I don't do that, then I'll just end up sitting, and because it's very monotonous life, it's just one routine. We are all into one routine. Morning we get up, and night we go to bed. In between, whatever we are doing, every day we are doing the same thing.
True.
And nobody has the time to every day come and tell you that do this, keep yourself happy, keep yourself motivated. Why don't you sing a song? Why don't you write something? Every day nobody is going to tell you that. Yes. 1 day, 2 days, once in a week, somebody may tell you, but not every day. So every day, if you have to keep yourself motivated, get up with a smile. See, early in the morning, you can't be thinking, okay, today I'm going to dance.
True.
Then you'll never do that. Yeah, you'll never do that. You are hearing a song, you're listening to a song, and suddenly you feel, okay, how about singing this? Sing it that moment. Sing it that moment.
Yeah.
Or you're listening to a song and you think that, how about choreographing this? How will it be if I dance to this? Dance that moment. Do it then. Do it then. If you can. If you're in the midst of something, you can't. But leave that in your head, so that it haunts you. And do it. Just go for it. Nobody's watching you. You're your own master. Just do it. That's the only way to keep yourself motivated. Like I said, it's always a battle between the body and the mind. Sometimes the body would say no. Sometimes the mind would say no. But whichever is saying yes should win the battle. It could be the body and it could be the mind. So only we can keep ourselves happy. Only we can keep ourselves motivated. Nobody can give that on a plate to you. Nobody.
Very true.
So I feel everybody who feels that moment they want to do something. You want to eat an ice cream now? Eat it. Go get it and eat it. You want to eat a piece of chocolate now? Go get yourself a piece of chocolate and eat it. You want to write 2 lines now? Something is striking you and you want to write it? Write it down. Just then write it down. Wherever you are.
Very true.
That moment. Yeah.
Just that instinct.
I think that is what, exactly. And that is what motivates you. That is what, keeps you happy. And your happiness will only motivate you to do good things.
Very true. Yeah. So on that note, like you said earlier, you didn't have this digital platform. You had to write a letter to Women Chara. You had to post it. You had to take so much strain. But I believe even though these digital platforms have their own advantages, you would have faced some kind of disadvantages and disturbances in these. Can you share a bit of that? Yeah.
There are a lot of disturbances. Even when you watch someone, it's a disturbance. Some things you watch, that is a disturbance.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is given to you. A lot of people come back with unnecessary comments or, unnecessarily somebody sends you a request for friends and you don't know that person. But okay, for my age, to me, anybody like in their 30s or in 30s, they're all like my children. To me, I don't see beyond that. It's just like my son or daughter. For me, it's like that. So if I take up a request and then after 2 chats, they are being, stupid by saying things that they're not supposed to say. And even if you tell them that you're 50 years of age and, you should understand that. But that mark of respect or that is not there in some people. So you face these kind of things, And the one thing I would like to tell everyone in your age group or even in my age group, I would like to say, don't go by what you see on Instagram. Like people put up these especially in your generation, there is a lot of, like couple things and couple goals and lot of these things you see on Instagram. Okay, that gives them happiness, fine. They do it, it's fine. A lot of people who have fallen in love on Instagram, everybody asks them, and like, how was your love affair? They say it was just a chat on Instagram. Don't go by that.
Yeah.
Because it worked for someone, it's not necessary it will work for you. Be extremely careful on digital platforms. Extremely careful. Whom you choose, whom you send a like to, whom you dislike, whom you pass a comment on, whose comment you react to. Some comments, if it's not worthy of reacting, don't react. It's not necessary as a human we should react to everything. It is not necessary. That doesn't make you intelligent.
Yes.
Some think only if I react, I'm intelligent. It's not like that. Even if you don't react, just because you keep quiet, you don't become an idiot.
True.
So choose that right. Don't react to everything you see. Don't, don't, just because somebody had a great love marriage out of Instagram, not necessarily every boy you would send a request to, or every boy you are talking to should be that great. You never know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
So be extremely careful with your footsteps, because digital platform can be very, very risky at times. It could get you into trouble. So why go into trouble? Do your thing and be happily, involved in your thing. Spread happiness. Be happy for yourself. Just spread happiness. Why get into unnecessary things? I would say that.
Very true. And how about there is I would say a myth it is. There is a feeling, or there is a thing that is there in many youngsters' mind, that you have to find your passion. You have to follow your passion if you have to be successful. If you go the normal flow of life, you won't be happy, or you are not successful. So many people are struggling with it. They are actually okay with just going with the flow. But because of this notion they hear from here and there, they find it, they feel like trapped.
Yeah, true. That's because whenever a celebrity or whenever somebody who's doing well is interviewed, they say that they followed their passion. So probably success comes from following a passion. That is what everyone thinks. And following a passion is like following it from right from age 3. You're following your passion. It's like that for some. Not necessary. It's not necessary. Follow your hobby, your passion. You follow that. See, you like to draw, okay? Anybody who likes to draw, they just find happiness in drawing.
True.
Not necessary now that you can draw so much and you can make money out of it. It is just giving you happiness.
Yes.
Spread that happiness. Like dance for me, I'm not teaching dance, or I'm not learning dance, or I'm not making money out of dance. I'm not making money out of music. I'm not making money out of my quotes. It is just my passion. I feel happy. I feel good when I do that.
Yeah.
That is exactly following your passion. From your busy schedule and from your really monotonous and routine kind of life, if there is a path that you can get into where you can find a little happiness and relief, then that is your passion.
Yeah,
more than money.
Yes.
Because if your passion is giving you money, you'll enjoy it. Somewhere that will also become monotonous.
True.
That will also become a routine. Yeah, you'll fall short of ideas. But then if it is a path where you can find some relief from your usual monotonous and routine life, then that is your true passion.
Yes.
That is what is. So keep it alive just like that, like a child.
Wow.
Yeah, just keep it alive like a child, like a baby, nurture it and enjoy it and do it with your full passion. Learn more about it, know more about it. And if that has to bring you money and success, it will eventually happen. It just will eventually happen. Otherwise, trust me, as you age, you would age very gracefully by just following your passion, because it's giving you a lot of happiness. I have known people who have taken up to, jewelry making and so many things after the age of 50s and 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, they have not even done that. So it was just lying somewhere there in them. They started that, way after all their responsibilities were over.
Yes.
Their passion never got killed. It was still there. Yeah. So I guess that is what is important. Take it as a path that will give you happiness from your routine, monotonous life, instead of going behind it and trying to make money out of it. I would say that.
So
Passion
nice.
is that.
It's great. So something very simple. If you were to choose just one of your passions, what would it be?
I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can, but I guess writing. Because I don't know if I'm a great writer or not, but if something, I have never got any first prize, second prize, third prize. I have never participated in versification, elocution, story writing, poem writing. All this I've never participated in school or college. Because you give me a topic, Anagha, you make me sit with a paper and pencil and you say, write for 2 hours, I can't write. I can't. I can only write if I feel for it. Now, you would have said something, probably I'll get a thread from that. I would see something, I would get a thread from. But if that thread comes into my mind, I don't put it on paper, it keeps disturbing me. I have to put it down on paper. Otherwise, it will haunt me.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is my interest in writing. I guess probably writing I would choose. I guess I do that better. I don't know. There's so many things I want to learn more.
Like there is never a stop to learning, they say.
No, not at all. I'm just waiting to get back home and still learn. I want to learn pottery. I want to learn candle making. I don't know what all I want to learn. List is big.
So I've noticed that you do regular, posts like Wednesday inspiration, Wednesday series, Sunday series. So how do you manage to stay consistent? Like many of us just, we do it out of inspiration one day, and then after 2 days maybe we are not inspired, so we just come back, and then again when we are inspired we come back and post. So
yeah. I don't know. And like I said, Anagha, I just keep writing. Whenever a thought comes to my mind, either as a quote or as a few lines of, anything, poetry you call it, or a short story, whatever it is, I just write it and keep it.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably later, now if you check my phone, there are, lots of them there in the phone. So I just pick one and I post it.
Okay.
So I guess it's like, regular writing. Whatever I see, something strikes me, I just pen it down. Don't lose that moment. I would say that, in a moment you feel something to write, just pen it down. Don't lose that moment. Once you lose that moment, then that's gone from your head. Then you will not feel like writing. You will not be able to recollect also what was there in your mind that time.
Yes.
In the same mood. Yeah. So when it is, and especially today you have a phone, it's not very difficult. You feel something, write it down that moment.
Yeah. So on that note, I would like to ask, have you ever felt a difference when you actually put down on a paper and then when you just simply type it out on your phone? Have you ever felt any difference like that?
Frankly speaking, I only type on my phone. I don't write it down, and I'm always scolded by everyone. Write it down. I said, now it's like I've forgotten how to write. It's become like that. This thing is so handy, every time I feel something, I just type it and I put it on my phone. If my phone goes dead, everything is gone. My children always say, Amma, with your phone going dead, everything will be gone, what you have written. It's true, it's like that. But then, there is, I think when you write with a pen and paper, it gets more elaborate. Mm-hmm. Because then it's a moment, that thought, it engulfs you and it just flows when you write with a pen and a paper. It's very different, the feeling when you write with a pen and paper. It's not like typing, of course, no doubt about it.
You just get the flow when you're writing.
Yeah, it gets elaborate.
Very true. Okay. So, what would be your one piece of advice for people who are like you, like who have many passions, okay, but they want to pursue career in one of their passions? So, how would you, suggest how to choose one of it?
First of all, choosing a career in your passion. Let me tell you one thing, that the results are not instant. Now, if you're an artist or you're a singer or you're a dancer or whatever, those platforms are plenty today. There are a lot of platforms, but that you earn money out of it for a living, it takes time. It's not until and unless you're professionally doing it, and you understand about how it is how the difference is between doing a passion and doing it professionally. Your passion professionally.
Yes.
You have to really know the nuances of it. You should know all the things that go into it. You should be professionally trained in it, and then you go by it. Even then, passion takes time. So one thing I would say is lot of patience. If you have multiple passions, what are you best at? There's always a thing that you're best. If you ask me, probably writing is the best that I can do.
Yeah.
Because that comes very instantly to me. So there should be that thing which you're really good at, best at. The rest of it is like a hobby, something that triggers the happiness quotient in you. But one thing is that gives you a lot of satisfaction. That has to be your passion. There's one thing always in which you're better than the rest. Isn't it? Yeah. So follow that, but follow it with a lot of patience, because in the path, in that journey to making money out of your passion, you need a lot of patience, because there are going to be pitfalls. You're going to fall on your face. You're going to have people coming back and telling you, stop this, you're not good at it, but you have to be at it.
Yeah.
Only if you be at it, you will get somewhere. You can't just leave it somewhere and, leave it in the middle and go get something else. No. So patience is the key. If you're following a passion as a profession, patience is the key. And what are you best at? What gives you satisfaction? What are you best at? Take up that instead of what just gives you happiness. Rest is just hobby. This is passion.
Okay. So one final question would be one piece of advice for your younger self that you would give.
I wish I had more guts to put my foot down and say that I want to do this, or I would like to take up this. I didn't have that, at that time, not because somebody was upon me or I was not brought up like that. Not because of that. I guess those days were like that. You listen to too many people. You never put your foot down and say that, okay, I want to do this. I wanted to do journalism, but I never put my foot down and told my dad that I want to do journalism. Probably if I would have told, I would have been a journalist by now. I didn't do that. So I just wish that. Otherwise, I think everything was well and good.
So ma'am, truly you're such an inspiration. I would like to point one thing. I used to frequently share a few of your short stories and quotes as my stories, and many of my friends, my work friends and my college friends who don't know you actually, they come back to me saying that, see, you had posted a quote that day. So when something happened, I was reminded of that and I acted it the other way. So I just wanted to share it with you. You are still teaching us, even though you are not a professional teacher now. Even today, if we go to your page and if we just go through just one scroll, we learn something from you. You're so inspiring.
Thank you, darling. Thank you, Annika. Thank you so much. It means so much to me when you say that, really, really. And you're doing such a good job. All of you, for that matter, all my students. So good to see all of you doing so many things. I wouldn't have even thought of my kids, into so many things. Somebody's into baking, somebody's into something else. Everybody is doing something. And I'm so happy for all of you. May God bless all of you. We all just grow and grow.
Thank you.
And I'm here to watch it. I'll still be there to see it.
And inspire us every day, just like you're doing now.
Hopefully. Thank you, Annika. Thank you so much. It was so good talking to you.
Same here, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time. I just casually asked you and you said, yeah, why not? We'll go on live. Thank you so much for that.
No problem.
Thank you so much for inspiring us. Keep inspiring us. Thank you all who joined us.
Yes. Yeah, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Thank you, dear.
Bye, ma'am.